the thing about hacker culture is hackers don't like system, they like to break it. Okay, that's what how I am. That's what how most of you are. Like that's why you are using Linux, because we don't like logic, we don't like rules regulation, we like anarchy, and we like more understanding, more control. If something is like abstract and so complex, that we are not going to like it. So, and if you're a true hacker, like you have the tendency, this that nature, okay, then there are a few things I got for you. So I was working in a company, and it was fancy offices. Like everyone was impressed by me. They were like, "Wow, you!" Nobody knew like I can pull off such fancy offices and life. But there was a machine there, and it required me to scan a QR code and just to like expensive smartphone and a mobile number, which actually was linked to my digital identity, and I needed like internet and bank account just to get like some stupid cookie out of that machine. And it was like some food machine. And man, like that cookie was so fucking tasty. Like my taste buds now have experienced such a good 40% artificial, but such a good taste that I can't like eat real food anymore. Okay, so the thing about all of this, whatever I'm saying right now, is that systems, rational people build systems, and they, whoever built that machine might be like, wow, this is so good, like wow, that I'm so impressed by myself. Like, but the thing is, like, all these intelligent people just need like intellectual pleasures. That's what, like, how most software engineers are. And they just build like, they just constantly build like bullshit. And these things are not so much required in life. Okay, in fact, it makes your life so complex. So when I was living there are a lot of things I learned. So actually, this is Dishing Village, and I was there at that time, like when these guys went. So it was election time. Like they went on their village, like to vote. It was near the town where I was living, and it required some trekking, so I didn't like join them. They asked me. I was living with a family which was from Bishing Village, and they were really hardworking people. I always used to say like Bishing people are really hardworking people. Okay, so there are a lot of people who might say this is something you are choosing for yourself, but we have like our own choice and blah blah blah. But the thing is, if you look at like most of this technological life which is out there, it's so inefficient. Like in cities, um, you know, there are kids who are like playing games all day, and they literally do some few clicks, and like they order food. Okay, so in old days people used to grow food, grow food, and then even here, like everyone used to, and everyone had like kitchen garden, or like veggies. But the thing is, like, in the cities, like people are weak, and they are so abstract, like they're so dependent on abstract systems that it's disgusting. Okay, and it's funny, like, here, if I want to eat some eggs, like I can just go to the shop nearby, buy eggs. But in city, I need like a car. I need, like, I might get stuck in traffic because the mall is so far away. There is no shop nearby. And, all these malls in the checkout, they, like they're linked to their overloads and all my transaction, like quickly, like everything is getting tracked. Okay. Even though there is no need, but for somehow, like, this is how economy is working. So, all of this intellectual infrastructure is actually creating a lot of psychological negative implication. Like we are lacking control. We also require a lot of money for that. Okay, so when I was living there, I really liked this simplicity. Okay, and it was making more sense to me. And it's kind of funny, like I will never, it's so disgusting, like waiting for someone to bring your food in from traffic, like, and people just normalized it. Okay, like I can never, like, whoever solved this problem by saying like, okay, now we have created a city where no one can go to the shops to buy something, let's just build a company which is solving a problem which you created, by just someone else going for you. And you don't even have to be real with them. There is an abstraction, like that guy will always, um like it's truly a way to create um like a rich versus poor gap more bigger. Okay, like, you are not solving problems, some guy is still going to buy the food, okay, for you. Okay, so there is nothing, this technology, like whoever built this stupid app, is like so fucking annoying. Okay, so, but whatever. Okay, so the thing is, like, when I was living here in this town, I was feeling a true peace. I was truly happy. and I was interacting with some people, and those people were so real. Like nobody used to hesitate before saying. No one did communication 101. Okay, I just hate communication skill chapter. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, the best communication is nature. If you're afraid, it will show on your face. If you're happy, it will show on your face. If you're not interested, it will show on your face. Like all these MBA guys, like all this, like communication 101, I used to hate it. And I was so much in middle of all these kind of people in the company. Like everyone used to had like some kind of protocols of talking. Like when I was in tuting, when I was in like off grade, I really loved the culture. Like the people were so fucking real. Like they never used they are not like over socialized. Like there is a chapter in Ted Kaczynski manifesto about like over socialization, where in cities, like people constantly worry what others are going to think. Okay, and when they talk, they are like in fact, I even noticed like some of my friends, they always try to crack some stupid lame jokes because they feel like they have to they have to be interesting all the time, or people will lose interest from them. Okay, so yeah, it's like all the rationality which you see in this word. Okay, it's creating hell. And when you read like Tibetan culture, it actually makes more sense, because rationality is truly hell. It's like when I say hell, I mean you're a creature with limited capabilities. Okay, if you analyze things which are so complex so deeply, and you're not experiencing life. Okay, so if the more you analyze, the more you're missing out life, because you're not experiencing things. Okay, and when you see a person like her, so she's like she and in fact, there was a time when she offered a lunch to me, and she used to eat veggies, like raw veggies. And my taste buds was so much into like the stupid food which I used to eat in cities, that I wasn't able to eat it. And she was like, You're not enjoying it." And I was like, "Yeah, I can't, because I'm not used to eating such raw food." Okay, so I mean, see, if you want true happiness, you have to find happiness in 480p. If you went for 4K, then you are relying on more complexity. This is one stupid analogy, okay? Like, don't take it seriously. What I'm trying to say is like happiness can be found in in a simple living environment, okay? You can actually, all you need is like just attachment. If your brain is like a magnet. If you put it somewhere, it will get attached, okay? If you put it in front of a system, computer, it will get attached to that system. If you live in some nature, it will get attached to nature. And the thing about this mind is that's what Buddhists call like mind. And whenever you get attached to something, okay, it creates suffering eventually. Okay, so the thing is like all this simplicity, organic things, if you get attached to that, you will find more control of your life. Okay, like because the city like my brother was telling me once, you can't eat like organic food in city, or have like a high quality living in city without having money. It's almost impossible. People have to rely on cheap food. And also, if you're like that was a point where I decided, like, if I want to do a job, I will only do it remotely. And even after doing it remotely, I realized my mind is so much attached to these systems, all these virtual system, all these computers and all. Like she used to always say this, okay? Oh, my computer is lagging. She always used to say this to me, that you're constantly thinking of something, okay? And how do I explain? Like, I'm a computer engineer and that's my job. Like, I, these guys are like, they live in the moment, like they are present in physical space. But I'm like thinking about some virtual system, like, oh, my infrastructure is going down. Oh, there is some server issue. Or, I realize 90% of complexity which is coming in my life isn't from the real world, isn't from any connection which I know, like, it's coming from some devices, okay? And if you're focusing on, like, if I focus on like YouTube comments, for example, obviously, like, I am going to lose, like, even though you all are virtual, there is no face I have seen. You are all like some people out there I have never met. Okay, that's why I don't take this chance seriously. But you know I will still think, um I will still think about you, and there's a price of that, and the price is that I will miss out real life. Okay, And that, even my, I had a girlfriend, like she was from Assam, and she used to always say, like, you're like constantly off, you're always thinking. And I was like, in a very, I was maintaining some system. I was a DevOps engineer, like what else I can do? So, like thinkers, it's good to be a thinker and all, but living in real life, a word. So when I was in Tuting, there was no internet, and that's why I love that place, because I'm disconnected. There's nothing I can do. And I still remember, like, these guys used to have like, um okay, so there's a culture in Tuting, like in summers, entire town used to go to like camping, fishing, or like some riverside area. So, and my ego kind of breaks. I started to realize that people, there is no such thing as smart people. Smart people are like more dumb than simple minded people. In fact, simple minded people end up making better life. Like if you see Ladakh, for example, there are simple minded people in Ladakh who are trying to protest against big corporations, who are, taking away their land because the companies need natural resources. And the people who are like literally sitting in cities are saying, this is so wrong. And I'm like, there is a dependent origination to this. Like, if you need a lifestyle which requires so much infrastructure, well, obviously, that like if you need a lifestyle which require like so much complex infrastructure, obviously like these companies will get like so much pressure, like it will create like a chain effect. And even this town, I'm pretty sure like it will be dead in just two, because the road construction is still going on. It's really hard to reach this town. Also, it's a highly religious land. It's like near Tibetan border, like Tibet. So uh, and whenever I used to see the people of this town, I always used to think like all of this will be dead, because the youngsters are so much into these modern things, like in the Korean pop culture and all. Um, they are like not so much connected to their old, like they don't learn and understand philosophy. Okay, so so the thing is that what I'm trying to explain is that when I used to see the town, I used to realize that this thing will also go away, because humanity have already lost. Like there are so many tribes are gone, so many handcraft skills that are gone. Like AI is just like one next step. Like if you think deeply, a lot of old people here, even the lady I used to live with, that woman used to create so much from her hands. But I know like these things will go away. And actually, this video is this video is edited by me. Okay, so all the town people, like I mostly know everyone. It's a small town, and I am quite popular, because everyone used to say there's some engineer like who in the beginning, this was the shop where I used to eat. In the beginning, everyone is like, who the hell is he? But later, I become like really friendly with all of them and popular. Okay, so not too much. Like in some, okay, there is a one basti, like Podong basti. I everyone knows me mostly. So, but my whatever, okay, whatever I'm saying, I don't know if it makes sense. I'm just throwing it out. Might be a little bit weird, but you know, you have a life, you have like full control, you can make choice. Just because you are like brainwashed, or you're just because you're like a modern product of society, doesn't mean like you can't just do something, explore in life. Okay, you have a choice. You can always choose what kind of life you want to lead. Do you want like inefficiency in life? Do you want like bloat system in life? Or you want like simplicity where you have control? Like what I truly want, I want like a Raspberry Pi and a wooden house. And I'm not rejecting technology. I can like, since I'm good with technology, I can like write my own programs to run my motor, maybe, but I won't depend on any service. Okay, that's something I will never ever do. Okay, so that's the thing. That's me. Okay, and yeah, I am going to continue. I love talking about this thing. If you want this, like my last video did well, so I'm like, okay, why not? Okay, I can always talk about this thing. In fact, I can go more deep. Like if you want, many people might not like spiritual angle, but okay, so it's I might not discuss that.